G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lockie, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I got plenty of good shit to come, alright, on the WRX. But today we're going to be adjusting the suspension. So when I bought my Coilover suspension, I basically put them in at the factory height that they gave them to me, and they've been just a little bit wonky. The left side's a little bit lower than the right side. They kind of just all need to be adjusted just a little bit, just to kind of like perfect the height, make them all even, and also slightly lower it, just because I have a little bit bigger of a wheel gap in the front than I do the rears. So I just want to make it just look that little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to show you how to adjust your MCA suspension, because that's the type of suspension I have. Alright, so what have we got? Alright, so if you don't know what these are, they are digital calipers or vernier calipers, or some people like to call them, and basically they're kind of just like a multi-purpose measuring tool. This one has a digital readout, so we're able to measure basically depth, height, going inwards and outwards, and it's pretty damn accurate. I think it's to 0.001 millimeter, so those will be excellent for measuring the coilover suspension to see where we're at and how many mils we're going to be lowering it by. I also bought a torque wrench so I can finally stop borrowing Dad's torque wrench, and this is accurate to about 2-3%, which basically they all are, as it's just a basic torque wrench, but that's all we're going to need. So basically, the point between this is we're going to be able to adjust the suspension and be able to get exactly the heights that we want, and then we can lower it and have a look at it, and it should be nice and perfect. So definitely going to get these up and we're going to use them. Alright, so this is the rear wheel. This is how the rear wheel looks like on the right side. So I'm actually pretty impressed with the amount of gap here. It's actually a decent amount to have a daily driver in, and I might take it down maybe just a few mil more, but the other side is a bit higher than this, so I'm going to get the measurement of this, and we're going to take it down just a little bit, and we're going to replicate that on the other side. Alright, so I've got a little bit of weird angle in here, but this is the rear of the car. I'm going to bring my suspension spanner, C-spanner in. I'm just going to pull it back a bit, just to loosen it. So now we're able to undo this collar. Now this collar will be able to suggest our ride height, and then this collar above it is the locking collar. So we do not adjust the base height, as these are not base height adjustable coilovers. Okay, so first things first, we're going to get our vernier calipers here, turn them on, make sure we reset 0, so we know that that's going to be 0, and as we open it out, it's going to tell us our height. So with the awkward camera position here, I should be able to get in here, should be able to tell about what height we're sitting at here, and it looks to be about 60.5. There we go, so 60.5 millimeters of travel, and I think we're going to lower it maybe like another 5 mil, maybe a little bit more. So now what we want to do is we want to adjust this collar and begin sliding it down. And we'll keep measuring the heights that we're at. So our ideal height is probably going to be around the 55 mark. That's 55.5. I might just go down slightly more. Now what we want to do is we want to actually begin tightening this locking collar up. And what this does is this moves the suspension and now that's nice and tight. So now we're just going to grab our C-spanner and tighten it. So now this shouldn't be able to move and we're all good. Our final check is 55.02. Alright, so I just had to go back and revisit this because I did not drop it enough. So I dropped it another 5 mil. So now, if we look at the collar's down slightly more and the reading is at about approximately, that says 50.1. Alright, so I've got the rears done, ever so slightly lower, but what's more important is they're both the same height now. So we're going to go with the front, which is like the biggest difference in height. As you can see here, there's quite a big gap, quite a big wheel gap in the front, and I definitely want to eliminate that to get like hardly be able to fit 2 fingers under there. So we're definitely going to lower this one down a bit. So about 3 off, and final measurement is at 31.06, so close enough. That's good. Alright, so I forgot to finish up the video before I went to work, but I'm back from work now, and I'll just show you what the lowering looks like. So the rears are looking pretty good now. They're not too low, but definitely not so low that the mud flaps keep hitting the ground. So that's pretty well how I want it at the moment. And so we'll come around to the front of the car, and here's how the fronts look. Pretty nice. They're not too low, but they're just low enough that you can probably stick almost, probably just a little bit lower than 2 fingers. So definitely much better than how it was before. So I'm pretty happy with how it sits at the moment. Before it was just a little bit lower in the rear than it was the front. So now it's a little bit lower in the front than the rear. So hopefully I don't have too much troubles around town with like speed bumps and getting out of driveways and all that. But if not, I'll just have to raise it up a little bit more. No worries. Pretty easy to do. You know, MCA suspension makes it pretty easy for everyone. It's pretty hard to kook it, to be honest. All you have to do is just adjust the collars, make it smaller between the 2 collars if you want to go lower, or bigger if you want to go higher. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, give me a comment, and make sure to subscribe, because plenty more stuff to come on the WRX. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Do you feel the vibe?